Hello everyone, Jason Warren with DT Met, and today we're going to be taking a look at the system over the Midwest that's been overperforming during the past 24 hours, producing heavy snow in some areas. And we'll be taking a look at the big storm that's coming into the west that will bring heavy snow and valley rains to portions of the west, including the Sierra Nevada mountains. We'll also take a look at the pattern heading into Christmas and see which areas have the best chance of seeing snow on the ground Christmas Day. We'll start off in the Midwest, where we have a small but potent system that's centered over eastern Iowa right now. It's producing snow across Wisconsin and northern Illinois this morning. But during the past 24 hours, it produced an area of heavy snow from southeastern South Dakota, east across southern Minnesota and northern Iowa into far southwestern Wisconsin. And some areas within this zone have seen 6 to 10 inches of snow. The snow will lighten up as it heads eastward, with amounts lessening as it moves east of Lake Michigan. Areas further east, including northern Indiana and southern Michigan, even into Ohio, will see much less snow than they've seen further west. Here you can see the models are still showing additional snowfall of 4 to 6 inches, possibly locally higher amounts across southern Wisconsin through the remainder of today, but amounts get much lighter east of Lake Michigan, with just an inch or so expected downwind of Lake Michigan and southwestern Michigan, possibly into northern Indiana, but virtually nothing further east into northwestern Ohio. And the models show this in the simulated radar, how the system just dampens out and weakens as it moves eastward, with most of the precipitation drying up as it heads east into the Ohio Valley and eastern Great Lakes. Much of the west is seeing a break today, but the next system is already poised offshore, and it will bring tremendous moisture first into the northwest, but then sliding southward. It will bring heavy rain and mountain snows into portions of California and the Great Basin as we head through the weekend. Precipitation amounts will be highest from the mountain ranges westward to the coast, with several inches of rain possible, especially across northern California and up into the Sierra Nevada mountains, and also down into southern California along the coastal mountain ranges. Snowfall will be highest along the highest peaks of the Cascades and along the crest of the Sierra Nevada mountains, all the way down into the central and southern Sierras. Several feet of snow could fall in some of the higher elevations in these areas. Strong winds will also accompany this system, which could produce blizzard conditions over some of these mountain areas and also increase the risk for avalanches. The pattern over the past couple of weeks across the country has featured a persistent trough in the west with some ridging downstream across the eastern United States and especially over the southeast. This pattern is going to remain unchanged for the next 6 to 10 days, with near or slightly above average temperatures continuing east of the Mississippi River and below average temperatures continuing across the west and especially in the northwest. However, as we get closer to Christmas, there are signs that the pattern is going to begin to break down, with the ridging in the southeast becoming flatter and the troughing in the west beginning to spread out into the central and eastern United States. And this should allow for colder weather to spread eastward, east of the Mississippi River, and spread through the eastern United States, with the milder weather hanging on in parts of South Florida and possibly the far northeast. With the pattern change we discussed, the big question now is who stands the best chance of seeing a white Christmas. This model has a good depiction of where we think the places are that stand the best chances of seeing a white Christmas. If we run this forward, you can see that it has places in the west, the mountains of course, spreading up into the northern plains and then eventually across the Great Lakes and into the northeast. But it even has some areas further south seeing snow before Christmas, even down into portions of the Tennessee Valley, Ohio Valley, and portions of the mid-Mississippi Valley as well. It remains to be seen whether or not this is reality, but it's a good indication of where we expect snow to fall between now and Christmas Day. But where we expect snow to actually be on the ground Christmas Day would include the mountains of the west, across the central and northern plains, especially from Nebraska northward through the Dakotas, Minnesota into portions of the central and northern Great Lakes, possibly portions of the northern mid-Atlantic and up into the interior northeast. These areas have the best chance of seeing snow on the ground Christmas Day. Areas further south, including the coastal portions of the northeast, the remainder of the mid-Atlantic, and areas of the Appalachians down into portions of the Ohio Valley, Tennessee Valley, mid-Mississippi Valley, and central plains are questionable at this time, but there will be opportunities to pick up snow prior to Christmas. A lot can change between now and Christmas Day. We will be updating this forecast several times as new information becomes available, so be sure to follow or subscribe.